Welcome back to Rise and Grind. Today, we are touching on a topic that I have definitely talked about many, many times before, but we are bringing a whole new light to it today. And I am someone who absolutely has talked about money manifestation many, many times on the internet, both on Rise and Grind and on Instagram, YouTube, in many places. I have taught masterclasses on it, workshops. I've taught money manifestation in my programs for years. However, this time, we are taking it to a whole new level because we are bringing all sorts of neuroscience and actual science-backed strategies for manifesting money. So if you feel like you've kind of been burned by sort of like the manifestation advice out there that's a little bit more wishful thinking, like, energetic, vibration-based advice, which can be really helpful, but doesn't always feel like it works for everyone, then I totally get it. And this is definitely the episode for you. I know that manifestation in general is like a very trendy buzzword and people really, really love to talk about it. I love to talk about it. However, I think in this situation, I just want to make it clear that this is going to be brain science, identity work, behavioral shift backed information when it comes to money manifestation, not just an energetic approach. So I just want to be super, super clear about that. You're going to walk away with a lot of concrete information, a lot of concrete action that you can take. And so if you are the type of person that loves that shit like I do, then baby, you are in the right place, and let's get started. So you may hear me talk about attracting money, and I do like to use that term. However, when I'm talking about attracting money, what I'm really talking about is training your brain to notice opportunities to make money, to really act on and create opportunities to make money, and being able to recognize when those things happen by shifting your subconscious beliefs and your subconscious stories and all the things that are occurring in your mind when it comes to money. Because here's the thing, your brain is quite literally the command center of your entire reality, and that includes your financial reality. So anything that you believe about money is going to get reflected into your physical reality, even if it's in your subconscious, even if you're not totally aware of those beliefs or opinions or whatever. Those things can still influence the things that you notice, the things that you act on, the opportunities that you seek out. All of those things are connected to your bank account. So we have talked before about the RAS, or the Reticular Activating System, and I have referred to it as the bouncer in your brain because it kind of decides which thoughts get to come in, which ones don't, which ones are something that you actually notice and maybe like pull out of line to let in. Other people will call it the filter of your brain. And really what it is it's a part of your brain that allows you to focus on things. So the beliefs that you have in your subconscious mind are the things that are communicating to your RAS to tell it what to focus on. So if your beliefs are that money making is hard, or that people aren't going to pay you that, or that you aren't worthy of a certain amount of money, those things are what's being communicated to your bouncer, to your RAS, to your filter. And those are the things that you are going to notice and focus on then in your everyday life. Opportunities that reinforce those beliefs, interactions that reinforce those beliefs, experiences that reinforce those beliefs. You're just constantly going to be telling yourself and showing yourself through your reality, money making is hard and I'm not worthy of the amount of money that I desire. However, on the flip side, and this is the good shit, right? If you shift your subconscious beliefs into thinking that money is everywhere, that you are worthy of money, that you can make the amount of money that you want to, that it's totally possible for you, that it's totally normal for you to make a lot of money, guess what? Your RAS is going to work the same way, and you're going to start to notice opportunities and be put in situations where those things become true too. And in case I haven't said it enough times on this show, our knight in shining armor, neuroplasticity, aka the ability to change your mind, the fact that your brain is moldable, is the best thing ever. So if you are feeling right now like money is fucking hard and you're stressed the fuck out about it, and you can't ever seem to make enough, those things are beliefs that can change. And when they do change, that's when your reality, and therefore your bank account, will change also. So the number one thing that everyone needs to be doing if you want to be manifesting money is identity work. And what I mean by that is shifting the way you see yourself and changing the way that your brain sees money through subconscious rewiring. All of the things that you do with money, including what you charge, how you spend it, how you save it or don't save it, all of those are a reflection of the way that you see yourself. So shifting into the identity of someone who sees themselves differently is absolutely a must. And if you look at people who make money, if you look at six-figure earners, multi-six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, and up, all of them see themselves differently. They see themselves as someone who makes money like it's no big deal. They see themselves as people who are worthy of making large amounts of money. And to take it one step further, they are safe having a lot of money. They don't freak out about it. They don't feel like they didn't earn it. They don't feel like they have imposter syndrome when they have a lot of money. It's something that is totally normal to them in their reality because they identify as someone who makes a lot of money, who continues to make a lot of money, and is comfortable having a lot of money. So something I see all of the time, and something I hear all the time is like, but Carly, I made this amount of money and then I lost it all. So maybe like I signed a client, but then a bill showed up, or I made some money in my business, but then I spent it all. And those things are just a reflection of how you feel about yourself. You don't feel like you're someone that's safe having a lot of money. So basically, your subconscious mind snatches your hair back the second you get a check, and it doesn't allow you to enjoy or feel normal having money because you yourself don't believe that's to be true yet. And something that I have said a lot about the subconscious mind, really about the mind in general, is it doesn't really care what your conscious mind wants. It doesn't matter if you consciously know that you want to make money so fucking badly. It doesn't care if your conscious mind really wants to have a 5K month, a 10K month, a 50K month. None of that matters to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind only gives a shit about what feels normal, what feels comfy. Your subconscious mind is kind of a lazy bitch, okay? It just wants to lounge on the couch and it doesn't want to put in anything if it's any extra effort. It wants efficiency. It wants low key. And if your subconscious beliefs do not align with wanting that 5K, 10K, 50K month, your subconscious mind is like, yeah, we're going to block any opportunity to do that because I have to go out of my way. No, thank you. And that's exactly what's going to happen on repeat forever until you do the subconscious shifting to where the subconscious mind is on board with the 5K, 10K, 50K, whatever month. So this is the time of every episode that everybody loves, which is, how do I do it? What do I actually do in order to make this shit happen? I know I feel like a broke bitch. I know it's my subconscious mind totally sabotaging me and causing all sorts of issues for me, but what the fuck do I do now? I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do now. We talked a little bit about the identity work, but more than that, getting really, really clear on who you are when you have money is absolutely vital. So we're going to take a little peek into our highest self brain here for a second. If you are already making the money that you want, and I want you to have a number in your mind, pick it. I don't care what it is. There is no number that is the right number. Everyone's number is going to look different. But if you are already making that money, if that money was guaranteed and it was in your fucking bank account, what habits would change for you? What would you be thinking differently about yourself? And what patterns and bullshit and procrastinations and things like that would no longer be existent for you? A lot of the time, I think when we talk about money manifestation and people say like, behave like her or act like you already have it, people take that as I should spend like I already have it. And that's actually not it at all. Sometimes it can be, but that often gets people into a loop of over-investing and doing shit that's basically horrible for their nervous system when it comes to their money. But realistically, what I mean by that more is, what do you think about yourself and what type of action do you take differently that often has really nothing to do with money, but it's just a reflection of who you are as the version of yourself with money. So that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to get very, very clear on who you are when you have a lot of money and what the difference is between you now and you then. You in that reality, that wealthy reality. Who is she and how is she different than you? What are you dropping the ball on that she would never drop the ball on? What are you doing differently that she would never do? Or what are you not doing that she does every day? What are the discrepancies between those two versions of you? And I guarantee those two things, you're going to find a huge amount of clarity and a lot of answers just with that question. The second thing you're going to do is you are going to start to train your nervous system to be safe with a lot of money, to feel safe when thinking of higher income levels. And how do we do that? We do things like EFT tapping. We do things like breath work. We do hypnotherapy. We do meditation. We have those activities that calm our nervous system when we think about money so that we can start to train our brain to feel safe with money, not to panic and think we're getting chased by a bear or a mountain lion or getting hit by a bus, but instead being like, it's okay to make $10,000. We're good making $10,000. This is normal. This is comfortable. This is safe. Another thing I highly recommend is scripting and journaling. That is really, really underrated. First of all, scripting out as your highest self, the version of you that makes that money, is very, very reinforcing for your subconscious mind. And as we know, if this is not your first time listening to me, you know that reinforcement is queen, okay? When you are rewiring your mind, reinforcement is queen. The more consistently you can reinforce and in more ways that you can reinforce, the better off you're going to be and the quicker you're going to manifest what you want. So write about your highest self reality with all the money that you want, like it's already yours. And then take it one step further and really feel what you're writing. Truly emotionally connect, because the more you can emotionally connect with it, the more that your brain is going to rewire, the stronger those new neural pathways are going to be. The issue that a lot of people run into is they robotically repeat affirmations or they do journaling prompts, but they don't actually emotionally connect to it. And therefore, nothing actually changes in their subconscious mind. Maybe consciously for a moment, they feel a little different, but it is not the same as having a true emotional connection with what you're doing and truly feeling like that new reality is real. Which takes me to my final, here's what you can do tip. And I left this one for last because it truly is the best. This tool is so fucking underrated. I can't believe that people aren't doing it every day. And that is visualization. An emotionally connected, vivid visualization of you as the version of yourself with money, of you behaving as her, of you being able to hear what she hears, see what she sees, taste what she tastes, feel how she feels. Truly and deeply visualizing that reality is going to help it come to life even quicker, because as I have said many times on this show, your brain doesn't fucking care what's real and what's imagined. It does not care. It only knows what you show it and tell it enough times. And if you visualize yourself every single night having the money that you want, you are going to rewire your brain. It's absolutely proven. I manifested a brand new fucking car basically just using visualization. And I highly, highly recommend, if you do nothing else, please just visualize your new reality. And here's the thing. I want to speak a little more on the identity of people who have money, of the energy of wealth, because the biggest difference between me now and me when I had no fucking money is now I just expect to have money. Like, I really don't give it a second thought. I don't worry that I'm not going to have money because that's just not who I am anymore. I have shifted those things. I don't stress out that I'm not going to be able to do certain things financially because I just know that's not who I am. Wealthy people in general, and I don't really mean me, I just mean in general, anyone who has wealth or feels abundance, regardless of how much money they make, they expect to have money. It feels normal for them to have money. And realistically, what it comes down to is it's not this like, oh, I feel entitled to wealth like vibe. It's not like that. This is the bare minimum standard for myself. I love myself too much to not do the subconscious rewiring that I know will work in order to create the reality where I have money. I want to be taken care of financially. It's a value of mine. And actually, as a side note, I did not plan to say this, but if you do not allow yourself to want to have money and you make yourself feel guilty for wanting to have money, that's exactly why you don't have money. Shaming yourself or having hesitance or any like negative bullshit feelings around money, they have got to go if you actually want to make money. So that means stop being scared to sell your shit. Stop being scared to charge prices that are actually worth it for you to charge. You are worthy of making money. And it's not a bad thing to say that you want to make money. Making money and wanting to make money does not make you a bad person. It does not make you greedy. It makes you want to be financially taken care of. And that's really it. It doesn't need to be emotional. It doesn't need to be this like moral thing. It's just money. It's just some fucking dollar bills. So during moments where you feel like your highest self then, because you're going to start to shift into this, when you are shifting into that identity as the version of you that makes money, when you come to expect it, here's how you're going to reinforcement. And this phrase is something that I coined myself. I have it on t-shirts. I love it. This is how my life gets to be now. You're going to declare the normalcy of you having money. So when you get paid, this is how my life gets to be now. When you have overflow, this is how my life gets to be now. When you have moments where you're not stressing about money, where you don't feel restriction, where you don't feel like money is strangling you, this is how my life gets to be now. It's safe to receive money. It's safe to want to receive money. And it is absolutely your birthright to make money. So do me a favor right now, and I want you to set an income goal for the next 30 days. And this is something that I want you to feel a little bit of a stretch for. This isn't something that feels like a total no-brainer. I want it to be a little stretched for you. And your job is going to be taking all of the tips that I gave you today and applying them so that you can make that amount of money feel safe and normal for you. You are going to make it feel like no big fucking deal to make that amount of money. And again, I don't care what the amount is. It's going to be different for everyone. But set that amount of money and make that shit normal, because everyone has a range of money that they feel comfortable making. And then they have some that feels like, ooh, that's like a little high. That's like some overflow. Okay, that's the number that I want. So choose that number and employ all of these tips. You're going to visualize yourself doing it every night. You're going to journal. You're going to do some hypno. You're going to do some EFT tapping, maybe some breath work, all of those things so that you are simultaneously rewiring your mind and calming your nervous system when it comes to making money. And then, of course, I wish that this went without saying, but I think that the manifestation community has really forced me into having to say this every time, which is you can't just sit your ass on the couch and do nothing. Manifestation is a co-creation between subconscious rewiring and action, and sometimes the power of God. So realistically, you have to make moves. Take some intuitive nudges, take those things that start to come up for you as you're rewiring, because you are going to start to see different opportunities. Your reticular activating system is going to start to notice new things. Really pay attention to those things and take the action that you know your highest self would take. You know your wealthy self would take. And again, I don't mean spend like her. Don't go out and buy a fucking Lambo because you're trying to be your highest self when you really can't afford it. But take action, do the things that she would do, even if they are completely seemingly separate from money. So just to kind of wrap things up here, manifestation is not this like magical, mystical, mysterious thing that no one can really grab onto. It's really just mastering your brain and your new identity and your habits to align with the reality that you want. That's all it is, and it is completely backed by neuroscience when you apply it that way. And the best thing is when you know that, you realize how much more guaranteed things can be because your brain will operate according to what you tell it. That's how the brain works. It's a fascinating and fabulous concept. So the more you do these things, the more guaranteed your dream reality becomes. Like literally, you don't have to question if it's coming or not. It's fucking coming. So when your identity and your expectations and your brain are all on board with the money that you want to manifest, the amount of money that you want, your wealthy lifestyle, all of those things, it is damn near inevitable that you are going to get it. So the more work that you do on rewiring, the quicker it's going to be and the better it's going to be. So I highly recommend all of the things that I told you to do today. They are pretty much guaranteed to work as long as you apply them properly. And let's just do some like declarations here to close things out for our new identity, because realistically, when it all comes down to it, this is just an identity shift. So let's do this thing. Ready? I am no longer available for financial struggle. Declaration number 1. Number 2, I am no longer someone who tries to make money. I'm someone who does. Right? Okay. And of course, my personal favorite, this is how my life gets to be now, right? I'm a wealthy queen. This is how my life gets to be now. And really just start to normalize all of these things. Normalize that you're not going to struggle financially. Normalize that you're going to be financially comfortable and financially abundant, right? Normalize that you're just someone who makes money. Because when you believe those things about yourself, you become someone who just makes money. And just as sort of a closing statement for you, this is not about believing anything hard enough or the right vibration or anything else. It's really just about rewiring your mind for wealth and then backing it up with the proper behavior and action so that you can start to have that reality that you want. And that, my queens, is Money Manifestation 101. Of course, there are things we can dive into. That's why this was a 101 episode. But really, all of the things that we talked about today is all you need to know in order to manifest any amount of money. I don't care if it's $100. I don't care if it's $100 million. You can use these tools to manifest anything that you want, including any amount of money. So go out and do that shit. And if you want tools that are actually going to get you further, faster, join Healing House. I will link it below. That is my membership where lots of mindset tools and rewiring tools are waiting for you for immediate access. It is the best way to really have consistent reinforcement. And again, reinforcement is queen. So it is the best way to have consistent reinforcement when you are shifting your identity. So again, that's going to be linked below. The way to contact me will be linked below. And with that, my queens, I love you very much. Go live your wealthiest, healthiest life, and I'll see you guys next week.